Alright, hey. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see what's going on here. Hey, what's up everybody? This is the Reluctant Nabi back again. Alright, hopefully y'all can hear me loud and clear. I just have to get this message out to one more person. Alright. Kind of having a situation here that is clearly unexpected. Alright. Alright, so basically we're going to talk about a lot of things dealing in politics as it stands. And hold on. Oh yes. So I think I got things right where I want it. Alright. So real quick, let me greet everybody real quick. Horton Hardugu dog. All the way to the bank. Vasas los bonjour mes amis. Kerabawani konnichiwa. Ni hao ni ama. Sani bonani. Jumbo herbarigani. Assalamu alaikum and shalom. Alright. Sorry there's no picture here, but let me get something up real quick. Alright. And as we do this, right, I wanted to be clear to show y'all some things. Alright, I wanted to be very, very clear to show y'all some things. Especially when we get into the culture of Brazil, so to speak. And one of the things is, I don't think people understand how really Afrocentric the culture of Brazil really is. Alright. And the other thing that people don't understand is also how malleable this culture is about everything US. Alright. And that is where we start to get into a problem here. When we get into the malleability of them being everything US. Alright. And the reason why this presents for such a significant problem is that our media, the US media, has done a serious disservice in the way they have fabricated just everything about the US. Alright, now this is what's going on, and a lot of people may not understand it. But if you don't understand this now, you will understand it when it is too late. All right, you'll understand it when it's too late. We have an issue here. Okay, hold on. Make sure my brother got this. We have an issue here. Okay. All right. So we have an issue here where none of the media can ever be trusted. Now, for those of you that do not understand what's going on, I'm going to give you two things. I'm going to put up two things. And one, you have seen, especially the left-leaning people, at its lowest, the lowest that human beings can go. The other time you have seen this, all right, the other time that you have seen this is when it came to, there you go. When it comes to other parts of the left-leaning media. All right. Now, we have a bunch of issues as it concerns the left. We have some significant issues as it concerns the left, such that we don't even know if we can trust the media on anything anymore. I mean, think about that for a second. No one can trust the media because they've been wrong about every damn thing. They've been wrong to the point that they've been shown to be liars. We can't trust PolitiFact or any of the fact checkers because they lean left, and the left now only lies. They don't promote a narrative from the left-minded point of view that is the truth, where you can see, oh yeah, I kind of see what they're talking about. You can't see what they're talking about, and to follow them is to follow what you would know to be an out and outright lie. And yes, I said that because a lot of the things that they are saying is outright lies. A lot of the things that are going on is outright lies. And instead of people verifying things independently for themselves, especially given that they're bearing a lot of false witness against others, instead of looking into that, they're going to lean on a lying media as a crutch. And I do say lying. And this is why I say lying. Because they're supposed to be journalists, right? They're supposed to have researched what the truth is. And when the journalists get everything so blatantly wrong all the time, then you have to question their so-called journalism. You really have to question it. And this is not up for debate. You have to question this. All right. There is no way you believe what they say and let it go as such without question. Period. But I am saying to you that I was walking in the city, okay? I decided to take a walk to the city, to Central. And as I was walking, hold on for a second, that I was walking, so as I was traveling, okay, get this to Dwight. As I was traveling, right, I noticed some things. I looked at this wall, and when I looked at the wall, all right, when I looked at the wall, I saw this. All right, so can anybody tell me what they see wrong with this in Brazil? Brothers and sisters, this is a picture or a poster I saw in Brazil today. As a matter of fact, this painting or mural, this was painted on the wall. This mural is why I decided to do the video that I'm doing right now. I got one brother here in Brazil. Hey Wayne, if you on here, all right, if you're on here, Wayne, um, we need to hook up. All right. So yeah, I got a brother here. All right, that here, he's here. All right. So does anybody know what's wrong with this picture? There's a lot wrong with it. All right, but here's the weird thing about this picture. This picture shows you, okay, this picture shows you how much of a liar our media is. Okay, but it shows you in a deep way. All right. Hey, what's up, Wayne King? What's up, Gerald? Daniel, what's going down? Texas Marine, David Bowman. Let's see who we got. Who else we got? Michael Duncan, Antonio Johnson. What's going down? All right. When you look at this picture right here, it's deeper than you think. Now, I was on my way to get some stuff for some people to take back to here, the US. All right. And so as I was looking for these things, all right, as I was looking for these things to take back here to the US, what had happened was, see if I shared this everywhere. What happened as I decided to take this thing to the U.S., or get some stuff that I was going to bring here to the U.S. I walked by the wall. I saw this, and I thought to myself really quickly, how alarming. I mean, how really alarming. All right, and the problem that I saw with this is just that, hey, what's up, Frankie? As I was looking at this, and this is going to be a call-in, so if you have my messenger, all you got to do is pop in on Messenger, and if I miss you the first, I'll be able to hit you back. If you have my WhatsApp, if you're on my WhatsApp, all you got to do is pop into my WhatsApp. I'll hit you back. So as this is going on, all right, I wanted y'all to see that this is the false narrative that they pull out. But this came out during New Year. Now, here's some facts that I want y'all to know. All right, and I am citing myself. And the reason why I am citing myself is that I was in the military since Desert Storm, Desert Shield, a little before that. All right, so I am going to be the authority on this from all the stuff that everything where my unit, every war that my unit had to go to. Maybe not me specifically, but somebody in my unit went to something that a president started. All right. Now, I got out after Trump was elected. Now, we are here understanding modern history, so some of you may not be aware of the history right after the war started. All right, so the first major battle that we had in a while, and I'm going to tell you why it started, at least on paper, was Desert Storm, Desert Shield. Here's the breakdown of that. Okay. Oh, before I get started, let me remind you, my donation links are in the description box, because y'all know I forget until an hour in. My donation links are in this description box. Don't forget to subscribe and thumbs up. All right. And of course, everybody's commenting. All right. And don't forget, if you have my Facebook Messenger or my WhatsApp, you can call in. All right, just give me a minute to lay out some groundwork real quick, so you'll understand kind of what's going on here. All right, so I came in during Desert Storm, Desert Shield. We had two magnificent generals that y'all might be aware of. All right, President George Herbert Bush was in the White House. Dick Cheney was, he was an advisor at the time. All right. He might have been the Secretary of Defense. I can't remember. I was a lot younger then. All right. But he was the Secretary of Defense. But we remember Stormin' Norman, all right, and Colin Powell. Now, at the time of this, we were all a little nervous, a little afraid. All right, we about to go to war. Just came into the army. All right, this war went so quickly it was ridiculous. What Colin Powell did, and this was called the Powell Doctrine. He had an entrance plan, he had an objective, and he had a way out. What he didn't want was another Vietnam. Basically, this was him because he was in there. He was in Vietnam. So Colin Powell, his experience was from Vietnam. Then, he went up the ranks and stuff like that. All right. So basically, from what I remember, this was going to be a big tank battle. The T-72s that the Iraqi had and the Republican Guard against the M1 Abrams, which is what we had with the Sable rounds and all the rest of that stuff, right? And so basically, it was a rout. It was a rout. And it was a rout because of the B-2 stealth bomber. All right. They sent that bomber in, and by the time the bombs hit, they were already out of there, and the Iraqis were shooting at the sky. Now, what happened was there was a dispute with Kuwait over oil fields. And we remember that Iraqis set the oil fields afire. And many of us got sick during this. All right, so that was the first war. So we went in, took names, kicked behind. We went into Iraq, but we did not go into Baghdad. We pushed them all the way back into Iraq, but we did not go into Baghdad. And Colin Powell, Bush, and them, they said, we don't want to do that. Our objective was not to take over Iraq. And Schwarzkopf said that they weren't in Powell. They were not interested in nation building. All right. We had an objective. We protected based on our treaty. Bada boom, bada bing, we was out of there. That was George Herbert Walker Bush. All right. He was defeated by Clinton. Now, this is the war we went into. All right. Now, pay attention to the picture. Happy New War. Okay. This was the war we went into that many of y'all might not know about. All right. But remember the no-fly zones with the Kosovar Albanians and stuff like that. We was involved with that war under Clinton. All right. We had a lot of SH going on, and this was the quiet war. It was nevertheless a war that Clinton put us in. And see, if you were in the army, you knew about this one, is because a lot of us went to this. So this was the Eastern Europe thing. And not only that, this had the tint of a Muslim war. All right. And so basically, we had this. We were there. Yeah, okay. So thank you, Texas Marine. So I called it right. Cheney was the Secretary of Defense. Okay. So under Clinton, we had a smaller skirmish war, but we had one. All right. There was a whole lot of stuff going on under that one there, too. A lot of people lost their lives, just not a lot of American soldiers. All right. Then who came in after Clinton? The next person that came in was George W. Bush. All right. So we had the second Iraqi war. All right, this one was over property. This one was over oil. And worse than that, those of us that was in, we looked at this as a big heist. That we weren't warriors, it was a big heist. What we did was we went in and stole gold from the Iraqis that Saddam Hussein had. He had weapons that were made of gold. We stole that. All right, we stole that, unjustly did what we did to him. All right, and what was all of this over? This was a money grab by a lot of people that was friendly with Cheney, like Halliburton, KBR, Kellogg Brown and Root. All right, and this was on the back heels of the Enron scandals. All right, and this is how sad this was. Remember the speech that George Bush made, that he was the decider? He made that speech because he wasn't the decider for his whole first 4 years that he was in. Cheney was running everything, and Cheney and Rumsfeld was running stuff to the point where they kept Powell out of the loop. Not only that, remember the yellow cake uranium at the UN to make a cause to go in for that war. Remember, this was about the fight them there so we don't have to fight them here. Only Iraq tried to help us and warn us about what was going on with ISIL or ISIS and Al Qaeda. Oh, and let's not forget, we trained Al Qaeda, we gave them the weapons, and we taught them recruiting and everything else, so that during the 80s, under the silent war of Reagan, oh yeah, we was going to mention Reagan, right? When the Soviets invaded Afghanistan, all right, we trained the Mujahideen to fight the Soviets, right? We supplied them with weapons, but what you don't know is we started up Al Qaeda, all right, and Osama, y'all know the rest of the name, Bin Laden's was our front man. In other words, we trained him. We taught him how to organize. We taught him how to recruit. We gave him all the money, poppy seeds, which they grow over there, and weapons. Oh, needless to say, he was the cousin, or he's related to the king of Saudi Arabia. Closely. He's a royal. So, now, when you take that, all right, so that's Reagan. Again, look at the picture. Happy New War. Right? World War III, nuclear war. That's what they said that this man was going to do because he won. All right. Under Obama, we have the most egregious, underhand, sneaky, and wicked things to happen as it concerns us as Afro people, especially Afro men. This is the machine, the Obama, Clinton, Hillary Clinton era, with Susan Rice and all the rest of those, the BAWs, where they could make up a story and do what they want to do to any man and have the media follow. This was the takeover of the media for them to paint a narrative of a person and then unjustly do what they want to do. This is where Muammar Gaddafi was assassinated. Libya became a front for new terrorist organizations, and it was the next war started by Obama. And this was the Iraqi war, everything culminated. This was when we start to figure out why all these wars were going on in the Middle East. This was when people that did research found out that people in the Middle East, namely the African countries, was going to do like Europe did. Europe band together and they said, we're going to create a currency called the euro. We're going to make sure it's a strong currency. We're going to back it with the full might of the European Union. And so that's what they did. Key to that was Germany, because the Deutschmark was really, really strong before they switched over to the euro. All right. So the Africans got the idea, and who was fronting that idea was Muammar Gaddafi. Only they had a genius idea. They were going to back their currency with gold and oil. Oh, what did we do when we went back in? We robbed them of their gold. And we kept the African countries from being able to do their oil by taking off one of the major leaders. And we did that. Let me show you how backstabbing the Obama administration was, and why it will be hard to get people to give up their protection or their nukes. The Libyan president, Muammar Gaddafi, decided, you know what, I'm going to make peace with the United States because we're going to start this currency thing. And what he did was he destroyed his nuclear weapons, and he destroyed his chemical weapons. When he destroyed his chemical weapons, we assassinated him, the U.S., under Obama, which then destabilized that whole region under Obama, which then started another war under Obama, which then, being that Syria was closer to the Soviets than the United States, caused the Soviets to intervene and send down an air force to be a foil to the United States. Yeah, I figured he was the directors of intelligence. Okay? So that's where we are. So what really disturbed me about this picture? The thing that disturbed me about this picture was a particular commandment. All right? And of this commandment, I want y'all to pay attention to what it says. See, because to me, the commandments are important. In Exodus 20:16, it says, you do not bear false witness against your neighbor. A lot of things come your way wickedly when you do this. Bear false witness against your neighbor. Alright? A lot of wicked stuff come your way when you start bearing false witness against your neighbor. Think about what's happening to the BAW, the FEFL right now. Alright? While they can get the thugs and simps to sip their Kool-Aid, the real brothers ain't having it. As a matter of fact, we're calling them out. When they want to argue about what's going on, we're not letting them have a say. We're still calling them out. And there is a level of shame that they cannot get rid of, no matter how much they try. Alright? And so that's what's going on. So what is the problem with this? Did y'all notice that under Trump there has been no new wars? As a matter of fact, Most battles have been tamped down, and many of the soldiers have been able to come home. As a matter of fact, North Korea is acting more like a friend that one. So North Korea has made moves towards the United States and away from China. Bet y'all didn't know that. The only people that might be a problem is Duarte in the Philippines, because when he was elected, he's been trying to cozy up to China, and China's been trying to take his land. And you know, when they take him over, they're going to bump him out and put their own person there. All right. But under Trump, we've had no new wars. But what did the media say he was going to do? The media, and this is their MO, the media, and let's make sure this is clear. The media said that he would start World War III. They said he was going to start it with North Korea. That's why they got that. And the media took the lies and promoted such a false narrative. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. This Happy New War is after January 1st of this year. Because you know, before the lockdown, the shutdown, my last time in Rio before this time coming up was in December. I want y'all to understand what's going on. So we are going into a new election, and CNN is strong here, and they lie just as much here in Brazil as they do in the United States. And I say lie because they're reporters. So when you report slants, when you report mistruths, when you are able to get a country to believe that a dude that's brought nothing but peace internationally, which I said he would do that. I said this dude is a builder. He builds buildings. So he ain't interested in everybody destroying his hotels and his name all over the place. I said that. I said he had motivation for peace. But then again, he wasn't going to be pushed over. And Texas Marine made this point. He said, this is a dude that desires peace. What makes him so dangerous to somebody like, say, in North Korea, is if you push him to where he has a fight. The fact that you took him from wanting peace to the point you made him want to fight you. Oh, he's coming with everything. He's going to make you regret everything. And I think that a lot of the leaders saw that. They saw that he's basically a peace person because he's a builder. When you look at peaceful people, you got to look at their motivation. All right? And understand the difference between a peaceful person and a slave. Understand the difference. A peaceful person and a slave. And this is what I mean by a slave. People will look at me that know me. They say, man, he is a man of peace. Why? Because they know that if you push me the wrong way, I could really do some damage to somebody physically. But my preference is not to. But the fact that I have the ability to do damage to people but don't makes me to be a person at peace. That's not weak. A weak person, they don't do anything to people because they can't. All right. And so basically, you got a lot of these dudes. That's sniffing up the skirts of female, and they can't do anything about their situation because they're weak. Understand this. Because if they did have strength, they would misuse it and destroy, like you see most of them do. So you can't say that they are at peace or they're a peaceful people. Look at how they use the same female talking points to try to discredit a person. All right, so I want y'all to understand this. That's the problem with this sign up here. All right, now I'm going to show y'all something. And this goes out to those people, them dudes. You know who them dudes are. This goes out to them dudes that keep trying to dog us out with female talking points to the point we don't want to deal with them either. All right, and the reason why we don't want to deal with these clowns is because we outside of their gender, we can't see the difference from out of their mouth between them and the females. All right, so I want y'all to pay attention to this. If I can get it to play. Oh, I hate when they do this. We're going to stop it. Hold on, wait. I want to get the actual quote.
Law is not adequate to respond to a tragedy. That is...
All right, hold on. Let me see. I know who I'm going to get. Okay, one moment. I know what I'm going to do. All right. All right. So I'm going to play a little clip.
But first, hear what those attacks against him look like.
Okay, that's where I went. Okay. Now I'm going to play a little clip. Okay, good. And as I play this clip, I want y'all to pay attention to what's going on. And listen carefully. Alright? And this is going to be Tucker Carlson. Alright? His show. And this is to give you an idea of how bad it really is when it comes to us as Afro people, no matter what we do. If we don't do exactly what the female want, this is how they talk about us. Now, to recap, as we show this, all right, we're talking about bearing false witness, right? And the reason why I started to get upset when I saw what they were doing to Trump is because I was like, wow, that's the same thing that they do to try to discredit the Afro man. All right, and then I am going to show you what's going on. And I am going to show you also how you got moist so-called black men that are jumping in on that bandwagon against other righteous living Afro men that have gained a notoriety and power within the system. Some of us have the power outside of the system. All right, but pay attention to this.
Don't look at the fact that this guy's black. That does not mean anything. He is a Republican through and through. He spoke the RNC. He told.
So if you are Republican and have a job with the Republicans, they're saying don't look at the fact that he's black. Well, shouldn't I say the same thing about her as a Democrat? What's the difference? Her and her crew's been tearing up businesses. They've been taking the lives of people, then lying on people, then setting people up, rigging a system, robbing you of your rights, want to rob everybody of everybody's rights. She's from Jamaica, right? So pay attention to this.
What you believe was, believe him. At least he's skinfolk, but he is not kinfolk.
We could say that about her. Well, what does she support? Oh, we'll get to what she supports. And then we'll get to the numbers of what she supports. Because I can't reiterate enough that these are the agents of death. We know this because of what they support. They support death. They give carte blanche and blanket anonymity. They give blanket everything to the people that is doing the most damage. All right. Keep in mind that Antifa is primarily Caucasian. BLM is primarily Caucasian that's marching around destroying stuff. So you got a bunch of people following the Caucasians again. Same way these black women did. That's on this Caucasian show. Trying to tell people who's black enough as if this is the new paper bag trick. All right, pay attention.
And so just like he thinks they can't speak for Kentucky because he's up there with a black face, he does not speak for all of us.
I think
No, he don't speak for all of them, right? Now, I want you to notice again. This is the BL FFL. This is what they think. All right, I'm going to show you once again what they stand for. This is the BL FFL. All right.
Saw this morning was a Bull Connor speech in 2020.
Another word, she called him the Bull Connor, the person that was against Afro men, the same way she's against Afro men. And all this because he looked at the evidence. Period.
And you're right. Unfortunately, it was being given by a black prosecutor.
I'm so
And now we got the moist weaklings. Remember, this dude don't have any power. He's not a peaceful man because he can't be a peaceful man. He's on the skirt tails and all that of these females. He has no honor, no integrity, no nothing. He does and says what he's told to do by a bunch of females.
disgusted by this. I'm so disgusted by Daniel Cameron's performance. I am so sick and tired of black people going on the air and performing for violence and white supremacy and state-sponsored violence against black people and claiming their mamas and claiming they're because of black men, they care about it.
All right. These, all of them were guilty of exactly what they were doing. We're going to look at a lot of track records here. So I'm going to just set some stuff up real quick. And we're going to look at the track records. We're going to look at all the lies. It's always been abortion. To the point where we were going extinct. So this comes from black genocide. Okay, so we're back. All right, so we're back. Let me see. Make sure we're back. Oh yeah, we're back, y'all. All right, so I was on Facebook. I was on Facebook and there was a female with them. Hold on for a second. Okay, so we got this woman, Chelsea Renee, that thought I got my stats from Caucasians. All right, so we're going to go there. She thought I got my stats from Caucasian. That isn't where I got them from. All right, this woman thought I got my stats from Caucasians, but that isn't where I got them from. I got them from, well, a bunch of people. All right, but the reason why these females try to go here is that they know that these things are true. All right, and while they cannot discredit them, because they know what they're doing. See, these women know exactly what they're doing and who they're doing it to. They know what they're doing and they know who they're doing it to. Maria Lawrence. All right. Oh, great. Okay, there we go. So, Maria Lawrence, right? So, what happened is, as y'all can see here, well, let's deal with this. All right. All the things that they say is the reason, the major reason why they went and destroyed half of our population or much of our population and put us on a thing of destruction is 0.5%. 98% of the reasons that they've destroyed us was personal. It was personal. And personal like in their feelings. Personal. So what happens when you try to point this stuff out? We're talking about bearing false witness. See, when you tell the truth, What they do is they try to make the truth look like a lie or discredit the truth. What's happening here is there's a photo of a woman. She has 3 children. And they got a lot of means for this. This is the photo. Looking for someone serious. Her kids. In other words, these are not children. Notice how I call them children. Her kids. All right, she's looking for something serious. Imagine we meet, fall in love. My kids eventually call you dad. All right, now if you go down and look at all this, the brothers ain't with this. No chance. Slap her. Okay? Shut the door in her face. All right, this is what you have, right? Now, I brought up the statistics that in many cases, this woman do not have a husband. All right, I can't even type the real word, but she was a thought that slept with 3 different men, which is usually the case. Oh no, or she was a thought that slept with 3 different men, which usually is the case in this kind of situation, more so than a marriage. Just speaking based on statistical probability. All right, so here's the key in this, statistical probability. What am I saying to her? I am saying that in this case of this story, for us as men, we have to judge these females based on statistical probability. If 77 or 70+% of them have chosen to be single mothers, chosen by their own words, if 59% of them had multiple children from multiple babies' daddies, and if 61% of the men with multiple babies' mamas and children were dudes that came out of prison, then it stands to reason that the majority of the women are not suitable for a good, decent man who's been taking care of his, who's been trying to do the right thing. Hey, what's up, Dwight? All right, understand this. So this is why I take risks, get on a plane, and come and help the children in Brazil. I can understand exactly why the situation it is the way it is in Brazil. They value good men. They still use womanly wiles. Don't get it twisted. These females will use womanly wiles. But they value the purpose of a man. All right. Now, I will say this. A brother just said, vote Republican. We must vote Republican. I'm not even going that far. I'm saying, particularly, if you care about you as a man and your freedom, given the current condition of the Democratic Party, I would not personally, my opinion, this is my opinion, based on all the information that's out, based on what they've done, I wouldn't vote for the Democrats. I don't vote, but I'm just saying. I wouldn't vote for people that's trying to get rid of me and my family and despises men, especially if I'm a man. Some of the simps don't get that. All right, so let's get back to her comment, right? She act like I didn't know. She act like she didn't know what I meant by thought. She knew. The other woman talking about, well, but her children look like her. Look at the look in the spitting image of each other and don't look like her highly. No, they all came out of her and they all look like her. She just got with a Caucasian man or a few Caucasian men. All right. Now, I reiterated that I am just saying that the laws of probability in the so-called Afro community account for the children looking like each other because they come from the same womb. The point is that we don't know, but probability states that she probably have 3 separate daddies or at least 2. But the probability that a woman has the same father for 3 children, according to statistics, is around 41%. As far as the black community female. Now, the reason I put 41%, because we know based on a report that a black female doctor did that 59% of black women have multiple children from multiple babies' daddies. All right, and so 49% is 41% is way less than 50. So this means most of them have multiple children from multiple babies' daddies, and the ones that don't have multiple children still have children. So what makes them suitable for a good man, especially when we don't want to take on another man's child? Now, her comeback was that what I said was not true. She assumed I got it from a Caucasian website. Right? Alright. Now, here is the thing. I told her that I got my stuff from blackgenocide.org. Alright. We got to do drinking tea. Oh, these dudes are just going in on these females. All right, the dudes are going in on the females. Now, their next comeback is, oh, it's self-hate, self-hate, self-hate. But the dudes ain't running around putting weave on top of their head. They're not running around doing all the rest of the crazy junk. All right. Then they say, well, I'm going down here to help these Caucasian people. But y'all seen the dudes in the NGO. You all have seen the children in the NGO. Y'all see that the children look more like me than anything. Y'all see that? All right, but they hate it. And I'm going to say it like that. They hate it when you rob them of any comeback. They despise it. I'm going to tell you something else that is just... All right. Trump goes in Trump goes in to the hospital, and you have many Afro people that have hoped for his death. I want to show you something. Alright, everybody. Look like I'm back. In the meantime, hold on for a second. Alright, in the meantime, we're going to deal with what we're going to deal with. For some reason, hold on for a second. As mine is this. So I'm not really all the way back up yet. So let's see what we can do. At least I can just get my photos up. And then cut this short. Alright. Let's do it like this. Let's go with what I can get up. Okay, look like I can't get nothing up straight here. So basically, I might not have a choice but to shut this down for now. But one of the things I wanted to get into, if you can hear me, you can't hear me. Nothing is going right. All right, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Jeez, I'm just frozen. Alright, since y'all can hear me, let me just say this. Alright. One of the things I was going to get into, and one of the articles that I was reading, is how Trump's recovery was back. All right. But the market dipped when he got sick. Now it's really back. All right. Now here's the thing about the markets and the people that create jobs. When Trump is in, right, they have Biden's election margin widening. All right. Now let me say this. Let me say this. We have become such a gullible, just way too wicked country that it's going to be bad. It is going to be bad. We have become such an entitled country that many people don't care about anyone. All right, just period. It's going to be that bad. All right, it's going to be that bad. Now, we have a situation here. We literally have a situation here